Welcome to some more tips and strategies on how to live life intentionally. So, I've always enjoyed doing sketchy things, but I do have a sense of caution, probably more so than most people who enjoy doing sketchy things. And it's been good. Caution is important to have, but sometimes my sense of caution can go a little too far, and maybe hold me back when I don't need to have as much caution, or when I should take a little bit more risk or trust a little bit more. And so, for example, when after Ryan and I had got married, we went to Causey Reservoir in Utah, near kind of well near Pineview, a little bit further past Pineview Reservoir. But anyway, we'd gone there to do some cliff jumping, but weren't able to get to the typical spot because it was in a location where you had to kayak out to or paddleboard out to, and we didn't have any boats with us. So we just hiked around the reservoir trying to find a place where we could jump off. And Ryan found a place that looked pretty good and jumped off, no problem. It was deep enough. It was, a good spot, except for the fact that there were a lot of bushes, right where we had to jump off. And so it wasn't just like a clear shot landing. At least it didn't appear that way to me. And in my mind, I was like, I'm going to have to not only jump out far enough to get to the deep water, but I'm going to have to jump over these bushes. And so my caution kicked in, and I stood there on the bank for probably 30 minutes just thinking about the jump and contemplating all the different scenarios and just wondering if I could jump far enough. And the longer I stood there, the more nervous I became, and the more those doubts and fears crept in and were what I focused on the most. But finally I just was like, all right, whatever, I gotta jump. And I jumped, and I cleared it just fine. I cleared the bushes and landed in the deep water, and I had so much fun that I climbed back up and kept jumping 5 or 6 more times. But what I learned from this scenario, first, in just in the sense of like physical aspects, is that whenever I'm pushing myself, climbing or biking or whatever, cliff jumping, it's important to have that sense of caution, to analyze the situation, evaluate my skill level. Is this something that I am capable of? I don't want to just jump into something where maybe I need to build myself up to it first, and I take a look at the reward to risk ratio. But once I've done that evaluation, and make a decision like, okay, I am capable of this, then I act. Instead of just, second guessing myself or rerunning all the various, scenarios or possible outcomes, or focusing on the fears or my doubts or whatever. After I make that decision, I don't stall. I just act. I focus on what I need to do to make that possible, to be successful. So with climbing, as if I've decided to do a difficult lead climb, then I focus on, okay, use your legs, keep your arms stiff when you're clipping in. Or if I'm about to try a jump with my bike, I just focus on what I need to do. Lean back, keep your speed up, whatever it is. And I don't sit there and stall or put off taking that action or thinking about my fears and doubts. I just simply think about, what is it that I need to do to accomplish this task. And so this principle, or this strategy that I learned, has helped me to push myself more physically, but it's also helped me in other areas of my life, which has been much more important. So, just like how I stood on the cliff at the Causey Reservoir, and the longer I stood there, I made that jump seem scarier and more difficult than it actually was. I was holding myself back, and I noticed that was something that I was doing in my life with other actions that I wanted to take, that I would that I would stand back and stall and not take meaningful action and make it, seem scarier and more difficult than it actually was. So, whether it was at one point, well, a couple different points, I knew I needed to quit my job and pursue other options, but I would just drag it out, and every day it was just painful, and I made it seem bigger than it needed to be, and just worse, and just waiting to take that action made it a lot worse than if I would just, okay, I need to quit my job, just go in and talk. Like, the action is simple. Just go talk to my boss, explain what I'm feeling. Or, if I knew I needed to apologize to someone or talk to someone about something, or I felt that I needed to do something, so do something kind for someone, I'd come up with excuses of why I was too busy or why I could let it slide, or maybe someone else would do it, or I wasn't fit for that, or someone else was more qualified to do what I thought I needed to do, and so then again I would stall the action, go through all the different scenarios, and focus more on my fears and doubts instead of just taking the action, focusing on those simple steps that I needed to do. And just like with being, starting a business, being a coach, I knew I needed to start a business. I knew that I needed to be a coach and to start, offering my thoughts and ideas, and just, offering this to other people. But I kept, letting my fear and doubts keep me standing on that cliff, doing nothing, and then making it seem bigger than it needs to be. So, what important things are you not accomplishing in your life because that leap looks too far, or too dangerous, or too scary? What are you standing back and not taking action on that is actually within your capabilities and is actually probably simpler than you think, and will be lots of fun and very rewarding if you just take that leap? And the truth of it is, most of the time, yeah, once we take that leap, it actually isn't that hard. We just make it seem more difficult than it actually is. And the trick is to stop making those excuses, to stop focusing on our fears and doubts, to stop waiting for that perfect moment, or stop waiting until we feel like everything is going to be fine. Like, we need to take that leap of faith sometimes, especially when we know, have strongly felt that we need to do something and know that we're capable of it. Then in those situations especially, we can't hold back, because it's just going to make it more difficult for us to take that action. And I'm super excited because tomorrow in the Intentional Living Facebook group, I'm going to share a little challenge. It's a fun challenge that I've done. Ryan and I have both done, actually, and it's helped us to stop making excuses in our life, to stop delaying taking action on things we know we need to do, and to just have more courage and faith to move forward without delay, and to get rid of those fears and doubts. So if you want to take part in that challenge, hop on over to the Facebook group tomorrow, and I'll be introducing it for you. But I hope that regardless, that you can take a look at your life and see if there are important things that you felt inspired to do, or know that you are capable of, but that you're not doing because that leap just looks maybe a little bit too big or too scary. And what can you do to just start taking action today? Focus instead maybe on what would be the rewards of taking this action, or what is one simple thing that I can do right now to start moving towards this goal that I have, or this prompting that I've had to do. And just decide to act. Stop standing on that cliff and take that leap. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you are living life intentionally. We'll see you later.